Hello, my fellow Americans, and let me start by saying Happy Thanksgiving. This is your Commander-in-Chief, the Commish of the Extreme Fantasy Football League, coming at you live through video Commish message. There's no better way to bring the Commish message other than video live to your homes on this awesome Thanksgiving Day. First, let me just say I wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy your families, enjoy the kids, and eat a lot of turkey and watch some great football. Well, first, I think we should start off that this is the last week before the playoffs come. It's the last regular season, and boy, do we have some big battles out there coming this week, coming down to the wire for division championships, to make the playoffs, and to, of course, miss the playoffs. Nothing is really set in stone other than a few teams that are in the playoffs, but still, all the matchups are in there for next week. And how about we break down last week's games? Well, first, how can we not start off with my awesome victory over Tool? And man, putting up 74 points, how do you not get a win? Am I right, fellas? Am I right? I definitely stole that one from you, Jake and Nate. But coming into Monday night, only up 10 points, RG3 to go. I thought for sure I was fried. Jake wins, he locks up his playoffs. I win, I lock up my playoffs. Luckily, San Francisco's D showed up. RG3 put up a 5. End of story. Happy guy over here sitting at 6-6. Jake is now at 5-7. Next game, primetime against Soldiers. Not really a game here. Soldiers 143, primetime 77. B Marsh does his usual 30 spot. Lacey comes up big with another 30, combining with B Marsh for 64 total points. Breeze does his norm, 29 right there at his normal average 30. Going to be a tough team to beat. You know, picking up them Panthers off waivers was huge. Playing that tight end carousel. You know, he's still got Des Bryant as a weapon. Definitely going to be a tough team to beat coming down the stretch, but easily stomp primetime this week. Primetime, I don't even have any notes. 77. What can I say? Just bad. But I love seeing that out of you. That's usually our favorite weeks for everyone to watch is when you do your 77s. And funny enough, he puts up a 77 and then posts something about how points should be more playoffs and blah, blah. Say something at the beginning of the year instead of 1 week left. Next, Baby G's Too Legit. Again, not very big contest here. Too Legit 167, Baby G's 115. Baby G's did see a little life out of MJD with 26. Decker a 1 though. Cam another average week, but sitting that 50 bomb from Rivers. That's going to definitely throw some questions in Justin's head coming down to the last week, needing a big victory just to make playoffs. Too Legit 167, normal for the highest point scorer in our league. Gets his 10th win. Jamal does his normal 36. His wide receivers combined for 52, and then Stafford did his normal 26 average week in, week out. Definitely going to be another tough team to beat. No injury bug on this guy. Waiver pickups have been pretty much money all year. Chiefs were a good waiver pickup. Definitely going to be a tough team to beat coming into the playoffs this year. Next game, Terror Squad Old School. Boy, Terror Squad 147. That hurts to lose. Played high score of the week. Old School, his first high score of the week, a 180. Definitely needed this big confidence booster coming into the last week, heading into playoffs. Needed this. Needed his guys to show some life because they have been looking pretty dead so far this year. Although I will say that Romo trade is looking to be big time in his favor right now. Gordon, a 53. His running backs combined for a 47. He's got AP in the wood. And then, you know, he saves his waiver wire. His waiver pickups all year, waits, and then finally uses it, gets a Steelers D that throws him a 30 spot. Boom. Locks it up. Victory. Old School holds his destiny in his hands for playoffs now. ODB, no limit. ODB, lowest points of the year so far, a 64. Terrible. Every year, same thing, same story, Mike. Battling for the playoffs, and you come into the last couple weeks just throwing up just nastiness. But a -1 for Ridley, 16 points from 5 different guys, and your best point scorer was Peyton Manning with a 19. Now, I will say, Peyton Manning's not going to do that every week. So, you need a big victory this week, my friend. Dig down deep. No Limit, 122, pretty average week. Jimmy Graham a 30, Brady a 39. Calvin at 23. Those 3 guys definitely carry the team. They combined for 92, while the other 5 only combined for 30. So it's going to be an up and down week to week with Dazzle. Does he got the team built to make that playoff push, make that deep run? I guess we'll see this week, and then where he ends up for his matchup next week for the first week. All right, well, there were the matchups from last week. Now I think it's time to do our countdown. But first, let me stop, and I want to throw a very special congratulations 1-month anniversary to a very close friend of mine, my beard. I call him El Lobo. I don't know why, just sounds right. Look at him, nice and pretty. We joined up about a month ago. We're never parting. I love this guy. Happy 1-month anniversary, buddy. All right, now it's time for the rankings. Haven't done the rankings all year except for that first week, but I think it's high time we set up a rankings going into this last week so we can see where everybody sits. Now I'm going to do it a little different also. I'm going to start from number 10, work my way down to number 1. So number 10, pretty much a no-brainer. Baby G's, 4-8, worst record in the league, second and last in points. You have been high score twice, but you're sitting behind Tool by 28 points, but you're 1 game back, so you're still not out of it. You got to get your win. You got to do your part and hope that other guys don't do their part. Big game against Primetime this week, but a game you can win, that's for sure. Definitely beat Primetime. End his season. Do not let him into the playoffs. It's on you, Baby G's. We are all counting on you. Next is Tool. He's lost 3 in a row. No high scores. 5-7. It was a bad loss last week to give himself the playoff lock. But he's still 1 game up on Baby G and holds his own destiny. Big questions at QB. RG3, do you keep rolling him out? Andre, you got to start him even though his quarterback's terrible. That McFadden trade was terrible. How many times are guys going to keep trading for McFadden? That's 2 years in a row. 1 for Breeze, 1 for Romo. I don't see it. Please, I don't see it. Somebody explain it to me why they think McFadden is this untouchable guy. But bad trade. He'd love to have Romo right now. Probably be looking a lot better. Plays old DB this week, so Bassford's is definitely, it's the bottom of the barrel game right here. You beat Bassford's, you make yourself in the playoffs, and you take him out of the you take him out of the playoffs. So gotta win. Next, ODB, 1 game back, 29 points up on Old School though, so that's good. 4-8, oof, not very good. Had a bad couple weeks. Although you got the number 1 quarterback in Peyton. You got the number 1 running back in McCoy. You got the number 3 receiver in Deshaun. Antonio Gates. You got a decent team. They just need to all put it together at once. Seems like one guy's doing something the other guys aren't. You put it all together, you're going to be tough to beat. But you got to get that win this week against Tool. Definitely a team that can be beat. So we'll see if you show up this week and make that push and make your first trip into the playoffs as a member of our league. Next, number 7, Old School. 1 game up, holds his own destiny. That was a big win last week. That was a statement win. Definitely came in to show everybody that he's here to play. 180 points is definitely nothing to laugh at. He is back on Jimmy and Mike by 29 and 30 points. Being the number 1 pick, I thought he'd have a little bit better year. AP, he drafted Gordon and T.Y. I thought those were real good. He got bit by the injury bug, losing Julio, but did good on the pickups. Got the wood. Gordon had 53 last week. A good pickup with Michael Floyd, I think. It could be a good start this week. I like that start. I don't know why you wouldn't start him over T.Y., but that's just me. That's just me. Big game against No Limit. That's going to be tough. No Limit's a tough guy. You got to deal with Calvin on Thursday. You got Romo on Thursday, or today, Thanksgiving. So we'll see who comes out of it. Today could be a big matchup, or games today showing, how it's going to lay out for Sunday. We'll see what happens, Old School. Number 6, Primetime. Again, 1 game up, tied with Old School. Got Old School on points, though. Again, destiny is in his hands. It's just win, and you're in. Lose, and you go home. That simple. 5-7. He was 3-5 in the division. Not very good. No high scores of the week. Other than Foles and D-Train. Foles was a great pickup. You got 4 QBs on your bench, giving yourself a lot of questions. And that's when we like Jimmy, when he has to make a decision. Because sometimes he doesn't make that right decision. Actually, most of the time he doesn't make the right decision. 3 defenses. That means 7 of your guys are quarterbacks and defenses out of 16. That's almost 50%. We're we'll see if you got a plan, because once you get in the playoffs, I just don't think that's going to be a squad to go very far. G Unit, number 5. 4 points back of James. You know, I'm locked in at 6-6 for the playoffs. Now it's just about seeding. Who am I going to play? Looks like I'm going to get you, Jimmy, and I hope I do. I hope if you do make the playoffs, I get you first round and I can stomp you into the ground and send you home packing. I got 2 high scores of the week this year. Loving Lynch Mob. I think Cruz is about to come around. Rice has been the biggest bust of them all, for sure. I hate you, Rice. You won me a championship, and then now you let me go. I don't get it. Antonio Brown, though, I do like that pick. I've got him late as my number 3. Definitely better than Amendola. Definitely better than Bolden. Leads the league in catches. Love it. He's going to carry me far. I just hope Luck can step it up in these last couple weeks. Show everybody why he is the number 1 pick overall. I got Terror Squad this week. Terror Squad, sorry, I'm going to whoop your ass. That plain and simple. No competition there. Number 4, No Limit. No Limit is part of a 3-team tie for the division lead in the East. 3 teams sitting at 7-5. Dazzle's the lowest because he's behind in points. And he's 6-2 in the division, though, so he's loving this division. But he stole 2 wins on Monday Night Football, and you know what I'm talking about. One with a kicker, the other one with James going down for the Bucks. Oh, man, lucky. But doesn't matter. Win's a win. You're here. You're 7-5. Locked in the playoffs. Now you're just fighting for that division. Jimmy Graham. Brady showed up. Calvin is always good. Lots of options at running back. Pretty much a solid team. Could make a very deep run if he makes all those right coaching decisions. Who do you start? Who do you sit? Big choices, big choices. Got Old School this week. Could be a tough game. I don't know. I think it's going to be a coin flip. It might come down to Sunday night. Giants, Redskins. I don't know if he's going to start Alfred. Sunday Night Football. Could come down onto him. But we'll see what happens, and that will set up who wins the division and if Old School makes playoffs. So, number 3, Terror Squad. Second of the 3rd teams tied. Tied with Soldiers exactly. 1,666 points. Both teams 7-5. I mean, it could go either way, 2 or 3 seed right here. But you got to do your job first. You got to win and hope the other pieces fall in your spot. You don't win, you don't get no division. That's for sure. Although I guess it could happen if all 3 of you guys lose playing out of division this week. I guess one of you could lose and end up with the division. But that'd be a shitty way to back into the playoffs. With Rodgers down, you know, you've been quarterback hunting. You pick up Palmer, get 2 phenomenal weeks out of him. Moreno could be the pickup of the year. Bush was another solid draft pick. Harvin was a great pickup too. You got Garcon, Welker, Jordy. You got good options at receivers, although I'm not a big Jordy fan. Gronk was huge. You know, everybody was letting him slip. You took him, held on to him. So far, it's paying off. Could be another tough team to beat, but not this week because you're playing G Unit, and I'm gonna whoop you. That's it. Plain simple. Number 2, Soldiers. Soldiers, 7-5. Great season. Second in points. Tied for that division lead. You win, you get the division. That's all it said. Destiny is in the palm of your hand. Dez seems like he gets 20 a week. B-Mar seems like he gets 30 a week. Gore and Lacey combined for about 30 to 35 a week. You throw in Breeze's 30. I mean, you're putting up 140s, 150s every week. Panthers was a great pickup. Keenan Allen, another great pickup. So as long as you put the right guys on the field, you could definitely be a team to contend for this Super Bowl this year. But to take that division lead, he's got one final game this week, and it's going to be tough against 2 legit, probably the best team in the league. Definitely at 10-2, he is the best team. But what better way to win the division than go right through the best and right into the playoffs, strong and confident. That's how I'd like to do it, but we'll see what happens. Tough game. It's going to really come down to the final game, I think, of this week. So, number 1, 2 legit, 10-2, most points. Can't really complain why he's number 1. He's 3 high scores, 7-1 in the division. Jamal Charles and Forte have just been killing it. Stafford's been doing his thing. His receivers are up and down, but he seems to always start the right one every week. Great pickups off the waiver wires. The Chiefs, Andre Brown, Andre Ellington, starts him on the right week. I mean, this guy can't miss. No injuries. It just seems like he's having that magical year. But when you make the playoffs, it all changes. We all start 0-0. We're all on the same playing field, and anything can happen. So I hope the road to my 2nd Super Bowl in this league goes Jimmy first round, knock you out. Dave second round, knock you out. Sorry guys, boom boom. Merry Christmas. Send you packing. And then me in the Super Bowl against I don't even care. I hope it's Dazzle, to be honest, because then I'd take down Jimmy, Dave, and Dazzle, my 3 best friends, right in a row to win that trophy that James has and that money. No better way. I think that'd be the best way, and that's how I see it happening. So that's it, boys. Here we go. Last week. I hope you guys got some fight in you. I hope you guys are ready. We got big playoffs coming up. Those guys going to be sent packing this week. I'm sorry. Better luck next year. I hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving, has a great weekend. I'll be up in Pine this weekend enjoying that nice, beautiful Arizona forest weather, enjoying some ice-cold beers and some leftover turkey. I hope you all do the same. Have a good weekend. And as your president, I would like to say, God bless America.